Hi everybody, I'm Shayna from Shayna Luther. I'm a leather handbag designer and I have my own brand here in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn, but we aren't talking about leather bags today. We're talking about fabric face masks. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make one or a few of these. There's been a lot of organizations that have been popping up who are collecting these and passing them out to workers who are in dire need of them at hospitals and facilities that are taking care of patients who have COVID-19. I have a home studio, so I've been making these in my spare time. We will link the organization I'm sending these to in the video, but I know that there are a lot of organizations out there who are collecting these and passing them out. So let's just get started. Here's some things that you're going to need. You will need 100% cotton, lightweight or medium weight. I think anything heavier would be too hard to breathe through. Mine is pre-washed. I advise you, if you can, to pre-wash it because they are going to be washing all of these masks before they pass them out and as they are used. So important to be pre-washed just so any shrinkage is taken out before the face mask is actually made. So here's what I have. I actually have my lining fabric that I use. I have scraps of, and I even cut a nice size chunk off to use for this purpose. You need elastic to, this is where the elastic goes on. The elastic will go on over each ear. I've heard elastic right now is hard to find. Surprise, surprise. If you don't have elastic, you could simply use ties as well. So a ribbon or some sort of tie, even maybe a shoelace would work. Because instead of putting them around ears, they could, so a tie could be here and a tie could not be here, and then they tie it around in two places. So you could also do that if you don't have any elastic. And you need an iron and you need a sewing machine, and that's pretty much it. They're very straightforward, they're very easy, so let's get started. The first thing I like to do is draw out 8-inch squares. Now I actually have my cotton lining folded over, so when I cut each square, I'm actually going to be cutting 2. So, sorry, I don't know why I have a pencil. Okay, so you're cutting 8-inch squares, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a few of those now. And then I'll keep it going, I'll keep it moving so that I can walk you through the steps. So that is an 8-inch line right there. Just gonna draw that out. That's on a fold, do 8 inches here, 8 inches here. And this is barely 8 inches. I might make it 7 3/4. Now I have a rotary cutter. It makes cutting this sort of stuff pretty easy. You could easily use a pair of scissors. No problem at all. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut on that line there. Having a trouble because it's not my normal angle here. Cut that through, and then you're going to cut those 8-inch markings there. And then this one. Okay, so I have cut actually 1, 2, this is 3 face masks. This was on a fold, so I'm just going to crease that and cut that on that fold. Okay, so now you have 3, well, you really have 6 squares, but each one of these is, each one of these groups is going to make one face mask. So let's get started. You're going to put the right sides of the fabric together like that. And then what you're going to do is do a straight stitch on the top and along the bottom right here. So essentially you're kind of making a tube. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you at the ironing board. Okay, so I'm at the ironing board. You can see I stitched up the top at the bottom. So essentially, like I said before, I have a tube. Now, what you're gonna do now, turn that tube inside out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, guys, but let's get that top seam a nice little press. Out of steam. And go ahead and do the same at the bottom, because this is actually going to be the top and bottom of the face mask. Okay, now we got that nice and pressed. Now we're going to do the pleats. It seems daunting, but don't freak out about it. So why do we do pleats? We create 3 pleats in the face mask, which allows the mask to kind of create a curve and form to a human face. If it were just a strip of fabric, it would just go across a face, not much protection. So these pleats allow the mask to kind of cover up most places and go around the curves of a human face. So that's what we're going to do now. Now, it does not have to be perfect, but try to keep them somewhat even. So with my fingers, I'm just gonna go in here and start making the pleats. And then after, take the iron. And so that's not perfect, but it will do. And then just get that, hit that with the iron. Ooh, I'm out of steam. Hit that with the iron on front and back. Now, the next step is, so obviously this edge is not a clean edge. It is going to fray as it is worn and washed, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I actually have a serger here, and it creates this kind of edge. Hopefully you can see that there. So I'm going to go ahead and serge these edges so I have a clean cut. Again, it's not a essential step, but it just makes it a bit nicer. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to the next step. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so, oops, sorry. Okay, so you can see on my face mask here, I just did a mirror stitch on either side. Again, you don't have to do that, but I like to make things nice. That's my job, so I did. Okay, now the next step is you want to create a channel for the elastic or ties to go through so that they could go over the ears. So all I'm going to do here is fold this down about like so and give it a quick stitch. So I'm going to do that now on the machine. Be sure to top stitch or back stitch at the start of the seam and the end of the seam. That's always important. So I did that on one side, you could see there. Now I'm just going to do that on the other side, create that other channel so that the elastic or ties can go through. again, be sure to back stitch when you start sewing and when you end your sewing. Okay, so now basically you're done. The only thing you have to do now is get in the elastic or ties. I'm just cleaning up my threads because again, when I stitch, I'm a perfectionist. Okay, so here you go. This is basically it, okay? Now I'm gonna take my elastic. I have black, not a great combo, but hey, that's what I have. I cut my elastics about 12 inches just so I have some space, just so I have some extra seam allowance to stitch. Cut mine 12 inches. And then you're gonna fish these through those channels that we just created. Trick, I'm sure everybody knows this. Just get a safety pin, attach that to the end, and then that is your way to get that through the channel. Pull it as you go. May get stuck up on the pleats. Just keep working it through. See, there you go. And then do the other side as well. Again, it may get stuck on the plates, but you'll find a way to just squish it through there. There you go. Okay, now you want to stitch. You could do this by hand too if you want, or you could simply just tie these in a knot and just call it done. I like to stitch them. So you can see here, I think I just want to quickly measure these. They're a bit longer. Yeah, so I cut a 12-inch elastic. I'm gonna make about a 10-inch elastic to go around each here. So I'm just gonna quickly give that a stitch. And I cut them extra long just so I have that seam allowance to allow me to make them the proper size. These are not good scissors. Oh, I don't know why I still have them. Okay, so there's one side. I did that side. I'm going to do the other side. Now, again, kids, this does not have to be perfect, but at the same time, we want them to be wearable and to help our healthcare workers who are in dire need of these. Okay. Trim off all the threads. Okay, now what I do, because I just can't stand how that looks, I will pull it through so it is hidden on the other side. That's it. And let me take off my glasses and I can put this on. This is how it looks. You can see how it conforms to my face. It's around my ears. It's not too tight, but at the same time, it's tight enough that it's not going to just fall off. This is it. See how important those 3 pleats are in here? Anyway, and because it's cotton, it is breathable. I was just talking, had no problem breathing through it and talking at the same time. Obviously it is not as protective as an N95 mask, but this can help. Let us know if you have any questions at all. Thank you so much for following along. Stay strong, Brooklyn. Stay strong, everyone. And hopefully all of this will be over soon. But in the meantime, you have some things to help our people who are really putting themselves on the line to protect us. So thanks again. Bye.